Hey guys, Ace TCG here, and today we've got a Digimon TCG deck profile in the form of Eosmon. So let's take a look. Alrighty then, so let's actually take a look at what the deck has to offer. So in this list, I'm only running 4 babies, and that's just because of how the deck really plays. Now in this list, and you'll see a lot, is we don't actually run that many rookies compared to, and just because being able to consistently get the Pinamon is super duper nice. Now, this has come from BT6, and the majority of this deck is actually from BT6, which is super nice. We've got some commons from, I believe, maybe BT1, BT 1.5 it might have been, maybe. And then we've got the trial deck cards for green in this. So not too much, and actually not too bad budget-wise to be able to build this deck. But I'm super excited to be able to look at some BT6 stuff. And yeah, we're starting off with Pinamon. I'm going to go with Pinamon. So Pinamon has a really nice inheritable effect of when attacking once per turn. If you attack an opponent's Digimon, you can trigger draw 1 card. Really nice draw, and you need the draw in this deck because you'll see, if you don't know what Eosmon does, you're going to see some really fancy, we'll say fancy, different playstyles, and it's got a really cool mechanic to it. It's just a super fun deck. So yeah, I was super excited to build it as soon as BT5 came out. So next up, we'll take a look at our rookies, and we've got a new rookie in the form of Morphamon, and we'll run 4 of that in the list. So it's a 3 play cost with 1000 DP. It has a 0 Digivolve cost and the on deletion effect of, you can reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. You can add 1 Minoa Belushi, which is the Tamer for Eosmon, and 1 Digimon card with Eosmon in its name among them to your hand, and you place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Really nice way to be able to get the specific cards that you need to your hand in the deck. Definitely run 4 of that. Really nice. And actually, now that we have the chance, we can showcase the new foiling on the rares that came in BT6. So yeah, in BT6 packs, you gain 2 foils in every single pack because all rares are foil now. So at the back, you'll get 1 rare foil, and then you'll get 1 either of a rare, foil, or higher. Which was actually super shocking for me because I didn't realize it was coming in this set. And when I was opening my packs, I was like, wow, shiny galore. And it really does add an extra feeling of value to the rares, which is super cool. Next up, we've got a card that you might have seen before. This one's a bit different from other lists I've seen. I'm actually running the Palmon that you get in the starter deck for green. And now the reason I'm running this is because it has a play cost of 3, which is just normal for a rookie, 2000 DP, which is fine, a 0 Digivolve cost, which is obviously important so that you can Digivolve on top of your babies for free. But it has a really nice inheritable effect of when attacking, if you attack an opponent's Digimon, this Digimon gains plus 2000 DP for the turn. Now this has 2 really big values for me in that Eosmon, so the main card that we're going to be seeing a lot, is 6000, and if you have this underneath it and you swing with it for 6 and your opponent blocks, it boosts your Eosmon to 8k, so you'll be able to actually destroy the blocker while being able to keep that Eosmon around, and that little bit of survivability is actually really nice. But also, with the Mega that we have in the deck in the form of Eosmon as well, being able to boost it from 13,000 to 15,000 again helps secure that survivability when you're checking security, because it does have a way to gain security plus, which is super duper nice. So yeah, running 4 of that. I think a card which I'll throw on the screen now in the form of Wormmon is ran a lot in this list, and it's easy to see why being able to search for a 4 or 5 is useful for card draw. I just liked the idea of that additional survivability of the Palmon, which is always nice. Next, and actually finishing off our rookies, which is definitely short because I believe that's 11 rookies, is Terriermon. Now this card is super fantastic in this format because in BT6 there is a new word coming out, which is delay, which is another way for most decks to be able to gain a little bit of memory on their turns. So being able to have Terriermon means that you can stop that. So Terriermon is a 3 play cost with 2000 DP. It has 0 Digivolve cost, and the all turns effect of your opponent can't gain memory except with Tamer effects. Now being able to stop delay, and obviously all of the other ways that there is in the game of gaining memory, is super reliable, and it means that you can consistently stop your opponent from gaining too much memory, which you definitely want to be doing in this deck, because you really want to be like overpowering your opponent and just put them in a situation where they just don't know what to do, and Terriermon is perfect for that. So next up, we'll take a look at our champions, and we're actually only running a small amount of champions in this list. We're running 4 of the blockers from the starter deck in the form of Kabuterimon. So Kabuterimon is a 6 play cost with the 5000 DP, and it's the 1 Digivolve cost blocker, which obviously, as I've mentioned before in videos, has 1000 less, costs 1 more to play, but has that Digivolve cost of 1 instead of 2, which is nice. But it has the same effect as the normal blockers in that it has blocker, and when attacking you lose 2 memory. This is just for a little bit of defense. There's a lot of like security plus in the current format, and the format is a little bit fast, so being able to have those blockers to be able to like stop one really big attack is crucial. But also, if you're playing against someone who's spammed a lot of rookies out, being able to have this as a way to deter your opponent from rookie rushing you is always very nice, and nice to have to rely on, really. So taking a look next at the last of our champions in the list is Eosmon, and it's our first look at an Eosmon, and it has such a fantastic art. I just can't, as someone who's never watched Digimon before, it's such a really nice thing being able to see like the card arts like this. I think they look really fantastic. So this is the champion Eosmon, which has a 4 play cost, a DP power of 4000, a Digivolve cost of 2, which is okay, on top of green, which is important to note because this is a white card. It has the on-play effect of, you may play 1 white Tamer card with a play cost of 4 or less from your hand without paying its memory cost, and then your opponent may play 1 Tamer card from their hand without paying its memory cost. Now this is super fantastic because it means you're able to get out your Tamer cards from your hand, obviously. I think we're running something like 8 Tamers in this list, which is very, very high, and they're all white Tamers, so being able to get that Tamer out for free really comes in useful because it also links to like the ability of what the mega is in the list. But also it has that downside of you're also giving your opponent a Tamer for free. If they don't have one, fantastic, you get yours out for free and it feels great. But there is a scenario where you don't have one and then your opponent gets one out for free, which is super bad value, so watch out for that. But it also has an inheritable effect of, when attacking, you may play 1 white Tamer card with a play cost of 4 or less from your hand without paying its memory cost. Now this is a super, super nice ability because it means that you're able to get the bonus of that on-play effect just without that downside of being able to give your opponent one too. But like not only that, it just means that you can on-play this, Digivolve on top of it, and then swing and get that inheritable, so you can actually get 2 Tamers from 1 Eosmon, which is a super nice effect. Next up, we'll take a look at our ultimates in the form of Eosmon. Now this is the Eosmon that it changes the game mechanic of the game because it has the effect that states you can include up to 50 copies of cards with this card's number in your deck. And we're running 12 of it, and the reason we're running 12 of it, I will explain now. So this Eosmon has a really, really nice effect of, it has, well, you can include up to 50 in your deck, and the when attacking effect of, you may play 1 level 5 or lower Eosmon from your hand without paying its memory cost, which is just fantastic value. So it's a 5 play cost with a DP power of 6k, which is low for an ultimate, and it has a Digivolve cost of 3 on top of white or green, which is just really nice because it means you can actually Digivolve on top of the champion Eosmon as well as, well, the Kabuterimon if you really need to, so your blocker. It also has an inheritable effect of, during your turn, this Digimon gains plus 1000 DP, which is actually important because of what our Mega does, and we'll go over that. Now, I've seen lists run between 10 to 14 of these Eosmons, and I'd say, honestly, it's nice to be able to have around 12 to 14 is what I'd say. I was tempted to go to the 14 route, but I thought I want to squeeze in some other cards, so I'm going to go with 12, and it works out well for me. I don't often find myself swinging with an Eosmon and not having another one to be able to play, but being able to play this for 5 and then swing and get another one out just really puts your opponent under pressure straight from the get-go, and that's really, really cool. Next up, we're going to go ahead and take a look at our only Mega in the list in the form of, well, you guessed it, Eosmon. This Eosmon has a really, really nice artwork, and it has a play cost of 13, a DP power of 13, which, who guessed it, really cool. A Digivolve cost of 5 on top of white or green, which is actually super expensive, but it balances out because it has a really nice when Digivolving effect of, for each Tamer you have in play, you may place 1 level 5 or lower Eosmon from your trash at the top of this Digimon's Digivolution cards in any order, and if you place 2 or more cards with this effect, you delete one of your opponent's Digimon, which is huge. Now, not only do you get the bonus of being able to add Eosmons, for example, from your trash into your stack, which also give you that inheritable of plus 1000 DP, which means that you're going to be able to boost this to 15k upwards, meaning you're dodging the range of Omnimons, which is super fantastic. But it means that you're able to destroy one of your opponent's Digimon, and that can remove critical key pieces and put your opponent really far behind, which is always what we want to be doing in this deck. Now, it also has another effect of during your turn. For every 3 Digivolution cards this Digimon has, it gains security attack +1, which means that if you're able to get into the late game and you're able to add loads of Eosmons, if you have the Tamers out, it means that you get in plus security attack and the inheritable power, and you're able to swing for a lot of your opponent's security just with one Eosmon, which is nice because who doesn't want to remove all of your opponent's security with a single swing? That's swinging for a lot. Me when they pull a Gaia Force. But yeah, it's a super cool card, and it just really draws all of the mechanic in together. Next up, we'll take a look at our options cards, and we're running the Eosmon Cutting Edge, which, well, it's just called Cutting Edge, but it's the Eosmon options card. It's a 6-cost options card with the main effect of you may play 1 level 5 or lower Eosmon from your hand without paying its memory cost, and then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to the Digimon played with this effect. So you can actually use this effect to play the Ultimate Eosmon, which has 6000 DP, and then you can remove your opponent's blocker in a lot of circumstances, which is absolutely fantastic because you really want to be getting these into face and just replacing themselves with even more Eosmons if they die on the swing. Being able to have an options card that plays a card but also removes one of your opponents is super fantastic, and it has that security effect of activate this main effect, which means you can get them out really cool. Now, because the Eosmon is a 5 play cost too, that's just such extra value. So for 1 cost more, you can effectively play your Eosmon from hand, but then also remove one of your opponent's little cards, which I'm not going to complain about it, definitely not. Really happy with that, and I like 4 on the list. I think it's really cool. Next up, I'm finishing off our options. We've got Needle Spray. So Needle Spray is a 2-cost options card that came from the trial deck for green. Starter deck. I think they're called starter decks for Digimon. Sorry, other games are breaking into my mind now. So it has a main effect of suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, which is super simple, and that's for the exact same reason as I mentioned already, is we want to be able to rest our opponent's blockers. Needle Spray really does that, and it does that in the effect of, it also has the security effect of activate this card's main effect and then add this card to your hand. So you're able to have that defensive and stop your opponent from maybe attacking you with something super big. But also means it's always going to be coming to your hands. You're always going to be able to rest those blockers and grab those victories by absolutely rubbing your opponent. Next up, we'll take a look at our Tamer cards, and we have the new Eosmon one in the form of Manoa Bellucci. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I hope so. I'm sorry if I've mispronounced it. But it's a 4 play cost Tamer with the start of your turn effect of, if you have 2 memory or less, set your memory to 3, which is super nice to have in the deck. It has the your turn effect of, when you play an Eosmon, you may suspend this Tamer to reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You add 1 Tamer card or 1 Digimon card with Eosmon in its name from among them to your hand, and then you place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. Now, this is just fantastic. A Tamer that not only adds a Tamer back to hand, but also searches for your Eosmon is really cool and really helps you get extra value. But it also has a really nice opponent's turn effect of, while you have an Eosmon in play, your opponent's Tamers don't unsuspend during their unsuspend phase, which is super nice because there is a lot of suspendy Tamers out there now, and just being able to say, no, you can use them never, is really cool. It also has the security effect of security, play this card without paying its memory cost, like Tamers do. Next up, you'll take a look at some Tamers that we have seen before from BT5. We've got Tai Kamiya and Matt Ishida and Takumi Alba. Now, these are both from BT5 and they are both white, so I just thought super cool. It works in what we're trying to do, and they both have really cool effects. So we'll take a look at the Tai and Matt first. So the reason we're actually running this Tai and Matt is just because of that start of your turn effect of, if your opponent has a level 6 or higher Digimon in play, you gain 2 memory. Now, if you have one of these out and you have your Manoa Bellucci out and you're going to 5 memory of a turn, it means that you're able to play at least 1 Eosmon and not end your turn, which is just super good value. But not only that, because our Mega Eosmon costs 5, having this and one of the Manoas out, it means that you're going to be able to Digivolve into your Mega, do all of your shenanigans, and then still be able to attack, and that's super cool. It also has that effect of all your Digimon with Omnimon in the name gain security attack +1, but we don't run any Omnimon, so that won't matter. And then we've got Takumi Alba, which is a 2-play cost white tamer, and that's genuinely the main reason I'm running this, because it's just a cheap white tamer to play. But it also has some super nice effects in the effect of during your turn, when one of your Digimon digivolves, you may suspend this tamer to trigger draw 1 card. Now, keep in mind that this does not work in the Raisin area. I saw so many memes about people being like, does Takumi Alba work in it? No, it doesn't. Unfortunately, it doesn't. I've made the mistake before. And also, it has that all the turns effect of all level 3 Digimon gain. When attacking, you lose 1 memory, which is a really good way to deter your opponent, again, from rookie rushing you, which is what you need. Now, both of these also have that security effect of play this card without paying its memory cost, which is fantastic. But yeah, that is my Eosmon deck profile. I'm sorry that my upload schedule hasn't been the strongest lately. I've been struggling a little bit with mental health. I'm open and honest about talking about it. I don't mind saying it. But yeah, I'm excited to look and get some more deck profiles and PvPs out for you. And I hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks.